Hi, welcome Woodland Park families. We're going to start our presentation. We may have some folks popping in. So if they just pop in, we'll just try to mute them. And at the end, if you have questions, you are more than welcome to unmute yourself and ask those questions. But we're going to spend the next few minutes, Mr. Elsie and I. My name is Miss Nixon. I'm one of the assistant principals here at Woodland Park. And of course, Mr. Elsie, our principal. We're going to spend a few minutes going through this presentation with you to give you some information about our school and very important information for families. Oh, sorry. So first of all, we want to welcome you. Here at Woodland Park, our students are just as capable as any other students across the United States. Every day we're committed to ensuring that our students have the potential or have the opportunity to grow and thrive so that they can reach their full potential. And to do this, we need a plan in place to ensure that every teacher is prepared to provide every student with what they need to be successful here at school. Therefore, we created a plan. And that plan was submitted to the Louisiana Department of Education in the winter of 2020 to support our school's improvement. We received approval of this plan from the department in spring of 2020, and these are some of the key components that you see here that are part of that school improvement plan. High quality curriculum and assessments in all grades, high quality professional development, a teacher preparation partner to address our school's greatest workforce needs, building school-based expertise through various leadership roles, a professional development plan to ensure teachers are preparing for units and building content knowledge, and collaborating with our district's UIR discipline leader to support improvement around student engagement. Our commitment to you includes our school and student performance data that calls the LDOE to identify our school as being in need of improvement. We want to give you this information and an overview of our plan, timelines for implementation of our plan and attainment of those performance goals, and the implications for students, families, and educators. So first, we're going to look at some performance data from our school. How has our school performed over time? This is our 3-year trend. So notice in 2017 and 18, our school performance score was a 44, which was a letter grade of an F. And then in the year 18-19, we did improve slightly to 47.1, but we were still within that F letter grade. Now, 2019-20, of course, we didn't take that standardized testing, those LEAP tests. We were very optimistic at the growth that we saw with our students, but because we did not take that testing, we do not have scores for the 19-20 school year. When you think about LEAP, there are 5 levels that students can score within. So if you look here, notice that the first level up here, our highest level, is advanced, which would mean that our students exceeded expectations. Level 4 is mastery, which is meeting the expectations. And our goal is for every student to reach at least mastery, which would signal that they're ready for the next grade and they'll be their most successful. Level 3 is basic, which is nearly meeting the expectations. Level 2, approaching basic, partially meeting expectations. And then level 1, which is unsatisfactory, expectations not yet met. When we look at our trends over time, our students in ELA, 11% of our students scored mastery or above in 17-18. In the year 2018-19, we showed a 10% increase with 21% of our students scoring mastery or above. Again, in 19-20, you see there's no score there. In math, 6% of our students scored mastery or above in 17-18, and then an increase again in 18-19 of 11% of our students scoring mastery or above. In 17-18 in social studies, 4% of our students scored mastery or above, and then about the same in 18-19. Now in 2017-18, our science test was a pilot, so we didn't receive a score for that. And then in 18-19, less than 5% scored mastery or above. When we look at our subgroups, which are our smaller groups of students that we concentrate on, notice that we have 4 subgroups here that we're talking about. Our economically disadvantaged subgroup, our minority subgroup, our students with disabilities, and our English learners. When we look at how those subgroups performed, we get some ideas of the trends as well. So in 17-18, 10% of our students in the economically disadvantaged subgroup scored mastery or above in ELA. In 18-19, 8%. So we did notice a slight drop there. In 17-18, only 6% of our students scored mastery in math, but notice in 18-19, with the implementation of our Tier 1 curriculums like Eureka, we scored 16% of our students scoring mastery or above. When we look at our minority subgroup, in 2017-18, 21% of our students scored mastery or above in ELA and 11% in math. In the year 18-19, 13% of our students scored mastery or above in ELA and 8% of our students in math. When we look at our students with disabilities and our English language learners, in 17-18, 0% of our students scored mastery or above in ELA and 0 in math, and that held true for 18-19. So we have, and you'll see later on in our plan, we are targeting those students to provide them additional support so that we can improve these numbers. And that brings us to our plan for improvement. So in 2020-21, we have goals, and these goals are based off of that data that you just looked at. And so we want to share these with you. At the top, notice our students in kindergarten to 2nd grade. We want to improve their foundational reading skills as evidenced by the Dibbles assessment from 58% scoring basic or above to 70%. So when you see teachers send home reading work in K, 1, 2, we're trying to improve those reading skills. From spring of 2020 to spring of 2021, we want to increase our school's SPS score from 47.1 to 54, and that's going to bring us up a letter grade. And we're going to be looking at those LEAP scores and the SPS score calculations using our Tier 1 curriculum at all grade levels to support student mastery. We want to decrease the number of students that are receiving out-of-school suspensions. So you'll notice that our disciplinarian is using some other means, maybe conferences or in-school suspension, because we want our students here and we want to decrease those out-of-school suspensions. We want to improve teacher effectiveness by having 90% or greater of our teachers achieving an overall score of a 3 on the NIET rubric, which is the rubric we use to assess our teachers when we go in for observations. Also, we want you guys, parents and family, to be engaged in our activities. And so we are asking for an average of 50% of our students have a family member or representative attending parent and family engagement activities, which this is one activity today. Also notice, this is what we talked about before, we are targeting our students with disabilities, that subgroup. We would like to see an increase in their assessment index by 2.5%, so that would increase from 27.3 to 29.8. And then the last one at the bottom there, we want to increase our number of students that are attending school, because we have quite a few students that are missing school. And so we want to have we want to increase this percentage from 78 to 82% of students missing fewer than 15 days of school. So here are our timelines. Last May, we met with parents to get feedback, and we had a Zoom actually for community members and parents to give us feedback and talk about what went well last year, what they liked, and how we could improve based on our data. Then over the summer, our school-wide planning team met, and we came up with these goals and activities as the ones you just saw that we went over. When students returned in August, we gave diagnostic assessments to the students, and we've analyzed that data to determine what students need additional support and help. Some of those things that you may notice your students talking about, like in class or Zern, or small groups with their teacher. The school-wide planning team will meet again in January to analyze student data and look at where our students are and see if we're meeting our expectations to meet those goals that we set. And then in spring of 2021, the school-wide planning team will again hold a meeting with stakeholders. We'll invite you guys again in June to review the data and determine whether our plan was effective or not. Did we meet our goals? So what are our next steps? We need you to work together with us to improve our school. And part of that is communication. So here are some ways that we can partner together to meet our plan's goals. Communicate with us. Contact your child's teacher or the assistant principal or principal with questions you have about your child's progress or learning needs or school events. Visit our parent center. We have several, one in the north end of the parish and one in Hammond from 7 a.m. to 5:30, or attend an upcoming parent workshop at the parent center. Participate in extra learning activities at home. Your child may be part of 21st Century. Also, I mentioned M-Class, Zern, those programs your students can work on at home on their Chromebooks, and it will support their learning with the Tier 1 curriculums. And again, if you need to contact us, Mr. Elsie is our principal, Ms. Tebby Jackson, our other assistant principal, myself, Ms. Nixon. You can always call, visit our Facebook page or our school website, because we want to be here to support you, and we need your help to do that, supporting our students. At this time, are there any questions or comments that anyone would like to present? All right. If you do have a question or comment and you don't want to share it out, if you would like to email us, again, you can email or call the school. We'd be happy to talk with you about ways that we can improve our school with your help. And again, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your support as always. Have a great day.